I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling very proud of Mr. Taylor. Are you guys too? Yeah! Awesome. So Meadowlark, one thing that this project makes me think about is that at our school, we get to do some pretty special things. At Meadowlark, we get to explore our passions, and that's something that Mr. Taylor is about to get to do as well. Some of you might know this, but on the weekends, Mr. Taylor and I love to go climbing. We've climbed mountains around the world. We've rock climbed in different places too. And I hope that this presentation today will inspire you a little bit to follow your passions too. Can we give him a giant round of applause, my friends?
All right. Good morning, Mavericks. Good morning. Awesome. So yeah, they already introduced me, but I'm a science teacher at Centaurus, and I'm a track coach at Centaurus. So if you're interested in science, running, jumping, throwing, pole vaulting, can I see a show of hands if you're interested in any of those things? Awesome. So you might be on my track team or in my classroom someday. Okay, so I know we're not here to talk about track in school right now. We're talking about a trip that I'm leaving on in a couple days to the highest point on Earth. Does anybody know what that place is called? Yeah. Yep. Thank you, guys. Yeah, it's Mount Everest. And so I want to talk a little bit about how I got into climbing, how I joined the first all-black expedition, what it's like to climb Mount Everest, because I haven't been there yet, but I've done a lot of research. And then I want to talk a little bit about gear, and I'll open it up to a few questions, okay? So, I'm from Minnesota, and Minnesota, can I see a show of hands if you've been to Minnesota before? Oh, wow. So you guys will know that Minnesota in the winter is very cold. In the summer, it's very hot. From being from Minnesota, I knew absolutely no climbers. No climbers. No one in my school knew any climbers. There was no climbers in the city I lived in. No one in my family were climbers, and none of my family knew any climbers. And when I'm talking about family, it's not just my brothers and sisters, but my mom, my dad, my aunt, my uncles, my grandparents, my grandparents' grandparents. No one knew any climbers. And so climbing I only heard about in movies, which you can't believe everything you see in the movies. And I heard about it in school a little bit, like I heard about Mount Everest, but I didn't know much about anything else. So fast forward a few years, I moved to Colorado, and I went to the University of Colorado, and I ran track and did a lot of things there. And I got invited time and time again to go climbing. And so not knowing climbing, it wasn't really a thing for me. I didn't really know about it, but I eventually tried it. And I tried it, and I fell in love with it, and I started trying to climb in all the different forms. There's rock climbing, where you just climb up cliffs. There's ice climbing, where you climb frozen waterfalls. And then there's mountain climbing, where you climb up big mountains. And so over those years, me and Miss Taylor, we've climbed some really cool things. We climbed the tallest mountain in North America together. We climbed the second tallest mountain in Africa together. We've climbed lots and lots of other things, and even over Thanksgiving, we went and climbed the tallest mountain in Mexico together. So those were all really fun things. But last year, I met this person named Philip Henderson, and he had this idea. And at that time, it was just an idea that he wanted to bring a team of people to climb Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. And so yeah, he invited me on this project, and again, it was just an idea, but over the last year, this idea became not just a dream of his, but a reality. Well, hopefully next week it will be a reality that we go to the mountain. And so climbing's not just a physical feat of trying to climb the mountains, okay? We actually are traveling across the country. We had to train, we had to get to know the team that we'd be with. And so last summer, we took a team trip. We went and climbed Mount Rainier. And then this winter, I actually went to a school in Nepal where Mount Everest is to get to meet the people who live and work there. And so that was really cool because I had never been to Asia. I had never experienced the Nepalese culture. So that's kind of how we got to today. And so on Saturday, I'm leaving for the Everest expedition. And I'm going to be gone for 2 whole months. Yeah, 2 whole months to climb one mountain. And so what it looks like is Saturday, I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to take a 23-hour flight. Has anyone ever taken a 23-hour flight?
No.
Oh, man. You guys have taken some flights before. Awesome. All right, let's quiet down a little bit. So on Saturday, I'm going to take a 23-hour flight, and I'm going to fly to Nepal. And Nepal, it's so far away that right now everyone's asleep. It's nighttime, and it's morning, right? We just woke up, so it's completely on the other side of the world. So we'll get there. It'll take me a day or two to adjust to the different time, and then we're going to fly on a really small plane to this town called Lukla that is at the base of Mount Everest, okay, or the base of the valley below Mount Everest. And then there, we're going to start hiking to base camp. So, base camp, that's where I'm going to live for 2 months. And at base camp, it's a little city. Like a couple hundred people a year want to climb Mount Everest. And so these couple hundred people live there in this little city, and there's no houses, there's no electricity, there's no toilets, there's no running water, there's no sinks. And so we have to bring everything that we need to live there for those 2 months. And so to do that, on the 10 days from the town we fly into to base camp, we have the people who live there called Sherpas are helping us out, as well as some of their not pets, but these things called yaks. They're like big cows with big horns that help us carry a lot of their gear, or a lot of our gear. And so over 10 days, we'll walk up there because there's no roads to base camp. And then at base camp, we are going to start to climb the mountain. And so we can't just go to base camp and then climb the mountain. Because does anyone know what we don't have at the top of the mountain? What do we got?
We don't have any air.
Air, yes. There's not a lot of air. There's not a lot of oxygen. We need oxygen to breathe. So what we end up doing is we climb a little bit up the mountain, and then we go back down and sleep. And then we're going to climb a little bit more up the mountain and then go back down and sleep. We'll do that 3 times, and then hopefully by that time we're ready to go to the top, and we will sit and we'll wait for good weather, and once there's good weather, we'll try our best to make it to the top and come back home safely. And so that's kind of what the expedition looks like. And yeah, so with that said, I'm leaving in 3 days, and I'm not very good at being prepared to the point where I haven't finished packing yet. So I brought a bag of stuff because I'm trying to still figure out what I want to bring and what I don't want to bring and what I'm going to leave here. And so I want you guys to help me. Let me know if this is something I need to bring or something I need to leave. We'll go thumbs up if it's something I need to bring, thumbs down if something I shouldn't bring. Okay, so the first thing I got is this little bitty jacket here. Okay, I see a lot of thumbs down. It's something I shouldn't bring. Okay, this will stay in Colorado. Okay.
Good. You are good.
The next thing I have is an umbrella. No? Okay, I won't bring the umbrella. All right, how about this? Flip-flops. No? Okay. Oh man, I guess I really don't know how to pack. All right, so I got these boots that I just got the other day. Yeah? Okay. And these are pretty big boots, and I actually just got them 2 days ago. And does anybody want to try them on and make sure they're warm? Are your feet warm? Are they warm enough? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for letting me. So, So these are special boots that I got from Mount Everest. They're very warm. They're actually 3 different boots. It's a boot inside of a boot inside of a boot. So they are very, very warm. All right. The next thing I got, these are the biggest mittens I've owned. Should I bring these? Yeah. Okay. So, no? Okay, yes, okay. Awesome. I'll pack these. I'll make sure these go. I have another jacket. Let me know if... Oh. Okay. And I actually haven't tried this jacket on yet either. So if anyone who... All right, give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. I was cooking my eggs this morning. I was like, should I bring this thing? No, I got some thumbs up, thumbs down. All right. So the answer is, yes. Okay. All right, guys. I always heard when you go on vacations, you should bring swim trunks. Should I bring these? No, yeah, okay, I don't need that. That will stay here. Okay, the last 2 things. So this is an ice axe. So it's cold, there's snow, and there's ice. All right, I'll make sure and bring that one. And then this is the last thing. So it is really cold on Everest. And it's so cold that even your water bottle needs a jacket. And so I have a jacket for my water bottle. Okay. All right. So thank you guys for helping me pack. Like I said, I have to go home and I have to make sure these are all packed up nice and tight.
Why don't you do it right now?
Because I have a couple other things. Here you go.
All right, Mavericks. Oh my goodness, Mr. Taylor, this is such a treat. Oh, Araya, what is your question, loud and proud? Who inspired you to start climbing? What a great question, Araya.
So kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, climbing wasn't something that I was inspired to do, but one thing that I did learn from my mom is that you have to follow your dreams. And you have to pursue every opportunity that you were given. And so through starting to climb and learning to climb, my dreams got bigger and bigger. And I started doing that just through opportunities that I've been given from living in Colorado, from a friend saying, hey, do you want to try this? A friend saying, hey, do you want to go camping a day? All of those skills is what got me to be excited about climbing Mount Everest.
What advice do you have for me to achieve my passion?
This trip and my presentation is not about all of you guys should go and climb Mount Everest. But what I kind of talked a little bit about earlier is if you have an opportunity, take it. Okay? If someone invites you to do something, take it. And also, when you do find something that you're passionate about, it's setting goals and setting manageable things to work towards those goals. So even if it's you want to go to college one day, if it's that you want to be a scientist one day, it's okay. Well, what do I need to do, right? If I want to be a scientist, I need to do well in my science classes. So that means I need to study for the test now. So it's just making sure you do all of those little steps in order to make yourself be successful in the future.
What adventure do you want to go on next?
That's a good question that I haven't really came up with the answer to yet. A lot of times, for me, climbing is kind of like the whole plan and the process is part of the adventure. And so typically, I spend years planning and going through it, and it's kind of like not till I get there and I'm actually on the expedition, I can really realize what I want to do next, right? Once I get to the top, that's kind of the pathway to the next thing. So there is some, with that said, there is some cool things in the future that we would like to do. Me and Miss Taylor have climbed half of El Capitan together, and I want to climb the whole thing with her at some point. And there's lots and lots of climbs. El Capitan's this really beautiful cliff in Yosemite. And then also there's a lot of other traveling and climbing in other places around the world that I want to go to. And it's not just about the climbing in the mountains, but it's also to meet the communities and meet the people and the kids that live there and to see how they live life. So I know it was a broad answer, but hopefully that helped.
What are you scared of?
No? What am I scared of? Oh man. So there's a lot of things that I'm scared of. And I know we talked about how I got into this project. And initially, you guys might think this is weird, but I said no. And I was scared because I didn't want to leave my kids and my track kids for 2 months and not be able to coach them this year. That's one thing that's so important to me in my life, that I was just really scared that me being gone and not being there I just didn't know what would happen. And so then when we talk specifically about this trip, I am really scared and nervous to be gone from my family for these 2 months. And ultimately I'm nervous that because this is such a big trip and so many people know about it, that if it's not successful, I'm a little nervous about that. I want it to be successful. But then I have to think about what success looks like to me. And so success is not just going to the top of the mountain, but it's going to the mountain, coming home safely, and being able to tell a story about it. And so hopefully that helped with what I'm scared about. And I'm also scared of the dark. Okay. Cool.
All right, do you want to do one or two questions?
Okay. I can probably do 2 more questions. Let's go. Sorry, I don't know your names. Kid in the red in the very back. So it can be very cold on Mount Everest, especially on the top. There's actually parts low down that you can actually be in t-shirts because the sun bounces off the snow and it radiates. Even if it's negative 20 degrees, you can almost be in a t-shirt. But at the summit, a lot of times it registers as negative 40. And so, has anyone learned about Celsius and Fahrenheit? Yes. So negative 40 is where Celsius and Fahrenheit are the same exact temperature. So it's very, very cold. Okay, one more question. So the highest peak that I've climbed so far is Aconcagua in South America, and that is considered to be about a 7,000 meter peak. A meter is about 3 feet, and so Mount Everest is 8,888 meters. So that means that it is roughly 25% taller. So that's a bit taller, right? Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your time. I'm going to pass the mic back to your principal, and it's been great chatting with everyone.